first of all, let me say, I saw a flying saucer. I saw it up close. I wrote about this in True Hallucination. But there is... Are you suggesting, you said millions of people believe they've been abducted. Are you suggesting that millions of people, that you believe that millions of people have been abducted?
I didn't say abducted. I said had some encounter with, like yourself possibly.
Oh, well, if we, by some encounter, if what we mean is that some people have felt the cosmic giggle come near, I don't think you can get through life without that happening. The problem I have is, first of all, this is hard to talk about, but maybe worth talking about. First of all, because of my position as whatever I am, I get to meet all these people off stage, so to speak. And it's not been a confidence-building experience. Also, I noticed you had a tendency in your question to lead with credentials. An Air Force colonel, a Navy officer, a ex-NASA scientist. I mean, when I hear the phrase ex-NASA scientist, I reach for my revolver. This is a kind... I think what we have to... First of all, nice people do not understand how mendacious, scheming, lying, and bizarre, pathological people are. They can't imagine it. That's essentially what being a nice person means, is evil is a mystery to you. I think that a lot of people are making a lot of money spreading anxiety. Anxiety is cells. And the earth change people, one by one, we tick past the Edgar Cayce prophecies that don't come true. One by one, now every piece of physical evidence from the first 30 years of the UFO phenomenon has now been shown to be fake. None of those photographs stand up under modern computerological deconstruction. And so what my method, because I'm interested in the weird, the miraculous, the bizarre, the unearthly, the other. But my method has been to go to the place or the person or the thing and then not believe. Ask hard questions. And everybody else goes and believes. Well, the truth doesn't require your belief to exist. But hokum does. Hokum requires a relationship between the consumer of the hokum. And I've argued with Bud Hopkins, I've had lunch with Whitley Strieber, I've argued vociferously with John Mack, and these people are second-class thinkers. You would not send them to investigate a bus accident. I'm sorry that this is true. I didn't know this. I assumed, as most people do, that the word expert has meaning. It has no meaning. It's just a piece, it's public relations flackery. You're a UFO expert if you say you're a UFO expert. And when you go into so my method has been, as I said, to kick the tires and make it real. The other thing is, and people don't like this, but to examine the messenger. Is the messenger, you mentioned in your question, these people are normal, run-of-the-mill type people, accountants, lawyers, so forth and so on. In fact, when you look at these populations closely, they're weird. For example, the abduction population. A paper was written showing that the abduction population tends to cluster in middle-aged white women of the middle class who stay home. Well, what is that population, folks? That's the population of people who watch more daytime TV than any of the rest of us. If our average TV consumption is 5.5 hours a day, this population is pulling up the slack for those of us who don't watch and is watching 15 hours a day. And this is an area where, you see the newspapers being vended at the grocery store. Virgin Mom 9 gives birth to alien Christ. Are we all clear that this is a joke? All of us, including the remedial readers and the people who just got off the boat from Somalia last week, and everybody, are we all looking at it through the eyes of a Harvard intellectual with a BA in English literature? I'm not sure. So this is what I call the balkanization of epistemology. And part of it has to do with us all nobody, apparently this was left out of our curriculum recently, what's called rules of evidence. If you're a lawyer, you learn what are called the rules of evidence. What do a given set of facts actually mean? And in this UFO game, people, first of all, they repeat things. Never with citation. They say, did you see that article the other night, or that thing on Channel 6 a few weeks ago about this thing that happened in Argentina where and it's never accompanied by citation. So it's a multi-networked game of telephone where these rumors move out and are endlessly adumbrated and changed around. And all for the purpose of filling in people's blank spaces. And I don't like see, I think there are two phenomena. I'm not saying there aren't strange lights in the sky, that we may not know what they are and that they could be anything. But that's subject A. Subject B is the UFO community as a social phenomena. It's a paranoid community. These myths that are being propagated are always myths of disempowerment. It's that they came to Babylon and gave us an alphabet because we couldn't think it up ourselves. It's that they're giving us fiber optic technology and computer chips because we couldn't think it up ourselves. It's always about poor humanity receiving the largesse of the Space Brothers, and all we have to do is trade them human fetal tissue and some other stuff and they'll be happy. It's a backward fantasy that the media has drummed up into a hysteria. And if you really care about it, if it really speaks to you, then you must go and investigate it. You cannot understand it by consuming it from the media. Because all these people that you hear about, Jacques Vallée and Bud Hopkins and John Mack, the gods of this, do you think they would stand out if they were sitting here in this room? Do you think if we had them in front of us that these would be towering geniuses or men of deeper insight than you and I? Get real. It's just the New Age book circuit. It's just marketing and people making careers. Not that they're insincere, but that they're limited, as you and I are limited by our understanding and our past history. I was invited a few years ago to speak at a big UFO conclave in LA, and I had never been to one. And I thought, as I'll bet most of you think, who have a moderate interest in this, that if you go to one of these things, what you will find is a whole bunch of sincere people who have had strange experiences and who are trying to figure it out together. That is not what you find. What you find is booths, the Urantia book, Commander Rama, the Raelians, Billy Meyer, the Palladians, the Roswell incident. And these people operate side by side, having coffee, holding smokers for each other, and so forth and so on, with no sense of cognitive dissonance whatsoever. you know,